You're listening to the Back Home Network, presented by Homefield Apparel. All right, well, welcome to this special Christmas with the Bates family edition of the Inside Scoop. You know, I know that this is a really special time for you guys with everybody home together, so I just want to thank you on behalf of everybody at our show, on behalf of everybody listening, for taking this time to share with us. This is a really unique experience, so thank you guys for making the time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Well, Tamar, it was nice to see you get back on the court on Wednesday night. Do you want to kick things off here by just introducing us to everybody, and then as you introduce, if you guys could all say hi, that way the folks who are listening just on audio and who can't see the video will kind of be able to know your voices to go with the names. You want to give us a roll call, Tamar?
Right, so we got the big man on campus. We got Pops on my far right. How you doing? We got Moms in the middle.
Hello.
We got Trinity. This is the third youngest. Yeah, she's the youngest. Boom, third youngest, and then you got me.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody with me. Tamiya, this is the youngest, is the baby.
Hey.
And then Trey, the oldest. Yes, sir, ski.
And Trey, you were giving me a little bit of an update on your season. Obviously, fans of our show got a chance to meet you and get acquainted with how things are going. I know conference play has been a little bit rougher for you guys than non-conference play has been. Do you want to just kind of update folks on how you're doing, how your season's going?
Right now we are 8-6, so we still trying to find out ways to win and figure out ways to get back on a successful road that we were on. So, you know, it's just been going a little bit up and down, a little roller coaster work, but you know, we still got more than half of the season left to play, so we'll figure it out.
Very good. Very good. And I know obviously the big holiday that's coming up is Christmas, but it seems like, Dr. Bates, from looking at your Twitter feed, there was another holiday that was, or at least a special occasion that was recently celebrated. Did I see right 21 years of marriage that you guys are celebrating just a couple days ago?
Right. Yeah.
That is phenomenal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we told the kids our relationship is finally of age. We're full grown now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we look at it. You know what I mean? So we're excited to celebrate 21 years.
Yeah. Well, my wife and I, we just celebrated our 6th anniversary. So we have a long way to go. Do you, and I know every relationship is obviously different, but do you have any secrets to longevity? Because 21 years, that's quite an accomplishment.
He's asking you. Right. So that's on us.
The secret sauce. Relationship by itself.
Right. The secret sauce. Honesty and communication for me. I think are very important to have in a relationship. Yeah. Being other-minded, knowing it's okay to put your spouse's needs, before your own, while not neglecting, your own needs as well, but being other-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go with effective communication. I think that, any relationship, whether it's siblings or mom and dad, husband, wife, whatever the case may be, effective communication is going to be key. Without that, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Well, I have certainly experienced that in our relationship as well. So we hope to be getting to where you guys are. Congratulations on that. That's wonderful. And Trinity and Tamia, it's an awesome privilege, pleasure to have you guys with us. We haven't had a chance to meet you yet. Trinity, let's start with you. Do you want to tell us how old you are? And then are you into any sports as well, like your brothers?
I'm 13. Sorry, my voice is going. But I'm 13 and I play basketball as well. I've been dancing for most of my life, but I've had a recent interest in basketball for the past 2 years. And yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And Tamia, how about you?
Let them know how your season went. Yeah.
Oh, the season went really well. We went undefeated the whole season, and then
Undefeated?
we won the tournament.
2 years
Wow.
in a row, they
2 years in a row. Okay. So Trinity is setting the pace in this house for basketball success.
Yeah.
And
Eighth
what kind of
grade.
player? What kind of player are you, Trinity? Are you a guard? What's your role on the team?
It really depends because sometimes I'm a guard and sometimes I'm a post player. It's really between those two.
Okay. All right.
We call her a stretch four.
Yeah.
Stretch four.
Stretch four. Okay, so you can shoot. You can go inside. You can go outside a little bit. Kind of playing the Race Thompson role on your team.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. And Tamia, how about you?
I'm 12, and like Trinity, I've been dancing most of my life, but I want to start basketball next year.
Okay. Very nice. And what's got you excited about starting basketball? Seeing everybody else playing?
Yeah, apparently everybody's been waiting on me.
Yeah, apparently we've been waiting.
And I just, paying attention, I realized that I had more interest in it, so
Yeah.
I'm ready to start.
Very nice. Well, clearly you have three very good role models here who you can pattern your game after. So good luck as you get into playing basketball.
Thank you.
And so, Dr. Bates, we got to come back over to you because on our episode when Tamar and Trey were together, as you may have heard, there was a little trash talk that went your way about some games in the driveway, maybe some shake and bake where you might not have guarded a dribbler as well as you might have wanted to. Everyone who's listening wants to hear your response. If you have something to say to these two gentlemen.
Well, I'll say that their perspectives on what happened was about probably 50% accurate.
hear him out.
Because every situation has two perspectives or multiple perspectives. I'll say that. And so as they got older, they definitely became much better at being able to score on me, win, 21 games or one-on-one games. And that's the goal. The goal is that they are a better version of me in everything that I do, whether it's basketball, relationships, taking care of your body, whatever it is. I need them to be twice as good, 3 times as good. So I don't have an issue when they obviously took joy in the fact that they were able to, accomplish beating their dad. But I also took joy in it from the standpoint of, yes, that makes me feel good that I'm, 30 whatever years old, 40 whatever years old, and still beating you. That doesn't make me feel good like I did it.
Yeah.
So I feel good about it.
That's the great part about being a dad. You can take some satisfaction if you're winning, but then when the tide turns and you're not winning, you almost take greater satisfaction in it, right? So kind of get it both ways. What's your athletic background?
So I ran track and cross country. So I was a runner, a little skinny guy, that, I really didn't like running. I only ran because I was good at it. I ran fast because I wanted to get it over quickly. And that's the only reason why I was good, in my opinion, is because once the gun went off, I was trying to get this race over quick. So as fast as I could do it, I would do that with some strategy. So I still ran. I didn't just run myself, into the ground. I ran with strategy, but I was trying to get it over. So that was but basketball was my first love. I wasn't as skilled early on in life because I was always around older people. I was always a grade ahead. And so I was never really able to be around kids my age when I was going through school. So everybody always seemed better than me, and they were older. But it wasn't until I got to college where things started to kind of plateau a bit, where I was catching up with folks. And so when it came to recreation basketball, we was killing, we was dominating. Me and me and my friends. But my coaches never really liked me playing because they always knew that I would get injured or hurt. So when they found out, the one time they did find out, they suspended my recreation pass to the recreation center for the duration of cross country season. So I got called in the gym. I wasn't supposed to be in there. So they just said, look here, you got everything you need over here in our facility. You don't need to go to the rec center. So we just not gonna give you access there. You know, so that was my punishment. But it was those are my sports. So basketball is my first love, and then the sports I was good at was running, track and cross country.
So I'm curious, when you watch Tamar play, when you watch Trey play, when you watch Trinity play, what are maybe things that they do or a move that they took from you when you kind of watch them and silently to yourself, you're like, that's my move right there. Like they learned that from me. Is there anything notable that stands out?
You know what? Not really. I was the big thing. Well, I guess anything dealing with defense, I would take some pride in. Anything related to them, stopping, trapping, being in a stance, I would say that, man, they were listening. Not that they saw me do it, but that they heard me say how important it was.
Yeah. Well, that matches with what they told us too, that they learned that defensive mentality from you. So that definitely matches. And Mrs. Bates, what about you? What's your athletic background?
Athletics. I don't have one.
No?
No. Well, I did run track at one point in time. And so I did well. I was more of a sprinter, 100, 200, and 400. And then I was a cheerleader and on the dance team.
Okay.
So it's more in the performing arts, singing and dancing and like the music part. That's me. Gotcha.
And I follow you on Twitter, obviously, and I've seen some of your comments after games. I'm curious if you would like to comment at all about the officiating at the Syracuse game for the Assembly Call listeners here.
Let me just clear the room because my family. I am a mom, so sometimes I can be very hard on officials, on the refs. And so I don't know the game in detail like they do, but I swear to God, I think I do, right? But I know I don't. But just for that game, it was just a little much for me. And I just seen a couple of plays and our calls, not plays, excuse me, that I just didn't agree with. I didn't think that, and I know they tell me like, well, it's not, nothing is fair in basketball and so forth. So like I said, with me being a mom, but some things, if it's just obvious, and I know we foul, they foul, I get all that, but I wanted to be fair across the board for everyone. And when it doesn't look that way, and one way looks more obvious than another, then I'm like, okay, now come on. I know I'm not the only one to see that. So
go on the road in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, man. That typically tends to happen. So
well, that's so I'm preparing myself mentally, so of course I won't be commenting on every game with the officiating. A little with my feelings with that.
So I'm curious, like you guys as
sorry, they did a good job.
That's right. Everybody listening to this knows the truth. They all agree with you.
If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or marketer, you know how much your messaging matters. Bob Knight said, all of us learn to write in the second grade. Most of us go on to do greater things. And coaches write about some writing, but not copywriting. The kind of writing that grows your business through memorable messaging and marketing. Any business can dominate the competition and win big with a world-class copywriter crafting time-saving and money-making emails, landing pages, ads, and more for you. Clay Manley from Speakeasy Sales Copy is one of the world's best, and he lends his talents to small businesses. Clay's an IU alum and an award-winning writer whose words have been trusted by Marvel, Slim Jim, Petco, and many other household names. After getting sick of helping the rich get richer, he left corporate copywriting to focus on helping small businesses grow. If your business could benefit from stronger messaging, then contact Clay at clay@speakeasysalescopy.com. And as a listener of the show, you can sample his proven playbook of $1 million messaging secrets for free. Just go to speakeasysalescopy.com/scoop for more. That's speakeasysalescopy.com/scoop. This could be your banner year, and your copy is the X factor. Contact Clay at Speakeasy Sales Copy today.
So I'm curious, like as sports parents, because I've kind of tended to see with sports parents, there's usually one who's like really intense, like while watching the games, kind of yelling, and the other one is a little bit calmer. Tamar, how would you describe your parents while they're watching games? Like, is one of them more intense than the other? How does that typically go?
I mean, let me see. I would say both of them are pretty intense, but I feel like now as me and Trey have gotten older, like with our games, my dad is more calm and poised, because like he kind of knows, how we're thinking and like what's going on. Not that my mom doesn't, but I would just say like as we've gotten older, especially because we can't hear them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's a little bit more poised. I say my mom, she is as well, but she probably has a little bit more of that a little more energy, like at the game.
Yeah.
So I would say it's kind of shifted, because it used to be more so my dad was the more energetic when my mom was chill. So I mean, I guess it just depends on the day or the game, because I mean it could be either one of them, or they could both be a little bit more laid back.
Yeah, because the Syracuse game, I was standing in my chair.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I think I stood the whole game.
Yeah.
I was energized. I was hyped for that game.
So it just depends on the day.
Just depends. So, obviously one of the best parts about going home for the holidays is getting some home cooking, which you haven't had in a while since you've been away. I'm curious if Clif Marshall, Coach Clif, did he give you guys any tips or parameters for how to pace yourself or how to eat while you're at home, since you're going to be away from his eagle eye for 3 or 4 days?
Well, I mean, I'm a weight gain guy, so
he just wants you to eat as much as possible.
That's all it is. Like, he didn't set any parameters on me. Like, he wants me to make sure I'm, getting all the food in me that I can.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
what's the thing that you look forward to most when you go home?
I mean, I would just say like the conversations and just like the environment of our household, because we're like a pretty like fun family. Like, we're always laughing, joking. So I would just say like times like at the dinner table, we'll be playing games like after dinner, or just like watching movies together, just like all being in the same room, really. Because I mean, like I feel like our energy like as a family is unmatched. So like, just us all being here together, because it's been a minute since we've all been here at the same time. Yeah. So I mean, just all being together, I mean, it's just really being around each other and doing things together. That's really my favorite part.
Trey, what are the most popular family games? Like when it's game night, what games are you typically playing?
Family Feud, or like like Heads Up. What was that mother like with the phone? Yeah, Heads Up, Taboo, Taboo.
The culture fact. Culture tag.
Just like culture tags. It's like a card game. So like, it don't really matter. Like, honestly, we can play any game for real, and we just turn it into our own thing and make it fun. So it could be the most boring game ever. We can just make it a Bates fam traditional way. Like, we can just do it. And then, awesome.
Trinity, who's the most competitive when you guys are playing board games? Who gets into it the most?
I'd have to say, in my opinion, it's probably like either my dad.
Think about who quits first. Who usually, I'm done.
Well, to me,
she's least competitive.
He is the least competitive. Actually, she's more. And then she gets mad when she leaves. She gets mad when she leaves. She comes back, and then she's like, okay, I'm ready to be all this. And then, but I have to say, like with everybody else, like I think all of us are really a lot competitive, and that's what makes it really fun when we do games together. Is that we all have that competitive energy, and it just keeps us going and going, and we just keep going.
Yeah. Well, one thing
Well,
that, you know, what was that last
Nobody-
part?
no one wants to lose. It's like we get mad when we lose. Even like with Uno, like you could tell when each person get it's like, oh, like
Yeah.
it's not a pleasant willfully bow down. Like
Yeah, we're just saying, oh my God, man, I'm ready for the next round.
Yeah. yeah.
This way again.
Who's the worst loser? Like, who takes it the hardest? Who's like flinging cards across the room or storming off when they lose?
I would have to say that Trinity might be the worst one.
It's you.
Yeah, got it.
Cause she get in her feelings.
No cards.
He don't know cards, but he get in his feelings about it sometimes.
I'm competitive. Yeah.
I throw some cards.
Yeah, she'll probably throw the cards.
I don't
Trinity.
I don't like
The extra
it's a
coin.
horrible feeling.
Well, I'm really glad that we have Trinity and Tamia here, because I feel like we can get a really unique perspective on Tamar and find out what he's like as an older brother. So Tamiya, what is Tamar like as an older brother?
Don't look at him either.
Okay.
Right.
Make sure you speak loud so he can hear you.
Okay. He's a great older brother, but we always have our ups and downs, like always getting into arguments sometimes. Well, it's usually him and Trinity, but we get into arguments sometimes, and then I don't know. It's just like I love having him as an older brother, like, but it's just with being the youngest, like, I don't even know how to put this into words, but it's hard.
Yeah. What's like
I
when
look
you look up to him? What's the thing that you feel like you've learned the most from him?
To listen, like not to talk when other people are speaking.
Mm.
And then, well, that's usually the main one because I'm always interrupting people. I'm still trying to learn. Everybody knows that. Like I'm always interrupting people. He's really straight up though. So, and I'm very emotional or sensitive. And then, like, he's gonna be straight up. And then him and Trey always have their jokes. So like, with being the youngest and him being my older brother, it's just like I can't.
And Trinity, what about you?
Still there?
Scoop is a really great older brother. I really like Tamia said, I like her as an older brother. We do argue. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. We do argue. But
Who usually wins the arguments?
it's not really a win thing. We just like stop talking. We just like go do whatever we have to do. And then we come back and we're all just laughing and joking. But yeah, he's really funny. He has a lot of jokes, like Tamia said. They both have a lot of jokes. And so when we're arguing, it makes it really easy. Like I can't stay mad at him for so long because I'm just laughing. I'm laughing constantly. And so it's just like, and I love him, so he's my brother. So like, even though we argue and stuff or any of that happens, it's like, it's easier to forgive him. It's easier to understand him because I've known him for so long.
Yeah. What's the thing that you've learned the most from him about basketball? Obviously, now that you're playing basketball and winning championships, what has he taught you about the game?
It was, I think, either before or after the tournament that we went to Indiana, and he was helping me with my shot and helping me in the gym. And the most thing I've learned is probably to like keep trying, like, because with me, I'm really hard on myself if I do something wrong and if I mess up. And so he really helped me understand the concept of just like thinking about the next shot. Like if I shoot it, I miss it. Don't get all hard on myself because I missed it. Just think about the next shot, just keep on going. And that's really helped me with basketball. And so I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. Very cool. Tamar, when you're home, how much does basketball come up? Like, are you and Trey talking a lot about your teams? Are you guys talking about basketball, or do you try and stay away from it for a few days since it's such a constant part of your life when you're back in Bloomington?
We'll try to stay away from it, but it's gonna come up eventually. Like, I mean, of course, like we'll talk about the games, like we might rewatch some of them, but other than that, we'll just, just continue to talk about how we're gonna improve our mental aspect of the game. Like that's usually the topic of me, Trey, and my dad's conversations when it comes to basketball, and then just, continuing to, stay focused, put the work in and, just stick to the plan, like the code. Like don't try and change the wheel of like basketball, especially like, with our coaching staff. Like it's a veteran, staff, and, they've been playing and coaching the game for a minute. But I mean, at home, like it's like we're a basketball like family. So especially because it's eventually gonna end up on the TV. So, we're gonna talk about basketball one way or another.
Is it like Christmas Day or all the NBA games on at your guys' house?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who does everybody root for? Who are your rooting allegiances when it comes to the NBA?
Well, he's Team Bron.
Right.
So
Team LeBron?
I don't know, because it's not an NBA team in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So we
like more like players.
Yeah, me and my brother, we like the Hawks.
Yeah, we with the Hawks.
Yeah.
It'd be players, but we just have a appreciation for greatness and just for basketball, period.
It's good competition.
Yeah. So
like
whoever's
a good matchup.
So whoever's playing, like
good strategy.
Yeah, like we just want to watch basketball. Like we like figure out a way to, get better, see something that we could talk about. Like they tell you, like even during our games, like if my dad sees something like a reason why we got scored on or a reason why we scored, he'll rewind it and slow-mo it and walk everybody through exactly what just happened. We'll do that with the NBA games too. So it's like we constantly just trying to, watch basketball, but at the same time, we still trying to learn.
Has there ever been? Oh, go ahead, Trey.
I was thinking of it as like basketball for us is like live film sessions. Like they're all live film sessions. It's not really us just watching the game for our enjoyment. We really like learning. Like it's like a teaching moment in all of it. Every game, it doesn't matter.
Has your dad ever drawn on the TV with a marker like it's a telestrator?
Probably because it was a smart board or something.
Right.
Like smart TV. He could, If you knew he'll draw on a mirror or something.
Or a mirror. Yeah, he'll draw on a mirror or a dry erase board.
Yeah, I could see that. All right. Has there ever been a debate about who's better between LeBron and Kobe? Has that come up?
No, ain't no debate. There's no discussion.
No debate.
There is no debate.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about LeBron and Kobe, but the greatest overall is Mike.
We don't debate that. No.
Yeah.
Ever since the last dance, there hasn't been no debate.
There's no more debate.
There is no discussion.
Yeah, there's no discussion.
Okay, so Michael's the GOAT. That's what you're saying. That's which we all agree on. But what about LeBron versus Kobe? Who's higher on the all-time rankings?
Kobe number 2.
Kobe is second.
Kobe.
Then Bron.
And they're all great players. Like I said, we appreciate greatness. Like, so we have the utmost respect for all the players. But, being that Kobe is like a reincarnation of Mike, it's only right that we put him right after it. Yeah. And then you got, and obviously Bron gonna look better in the numbers because he's played longer than everybody, and his body is just like he's a Mack truck. Like he don't like so like. Of course, the numbers don't look better, but yeah, I'm gonna say Kobe.
And we like LeBron too. He's definitely you can't match his talent. So we're not taking anything away from him either. He's another great one.
See, this is the actual sensible way to have this conversation. They're all amazing. There's no reason to pit them against each other.
Right.
Dudes, man, I know y'all seen that that stat like where like LeBron's been in the NBA for as long as like he's been in the NBA since I've been alive. Like
you're right, but since I've been in there since Trey. Yeah, I was pregnant with Trey watching LeBron. The McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like so, he's now been in the NBA longer than the day he was born to the day he was drafted.
Right.
It's been a lifetime in the
over a lifetime.
Support for the Inside Scoop is also presented by Home Field Apparel, the presenting sponsor for the Back Home Network. And our friends at Home Field Apparel, they have the widest and most extensive collection of vintage IU apparel that you will find anywhere. And as I'm sure you've come to know, it's not just IU. They started with IU stuff and the Bison logo that kind of took everybody by storm, and they just did a brand refresh, so they keep adding to their IU collection. But they're also adding other schools like crazy. They have, I think, 120 schools now. And so as you're looking to shop for yourself or for the IU fan in your life, or even folks who didn't go to Indiana, Home Field Apparel is the place to go for excellent fitting, ridiculously comfortable, washable, vintage gear that really makes a statement about your fandom. And so go to homefieldapparel.com, use the promo code HOME, HOME, to get 15% off your first order. That's homefieldapparel.com, promo code HOME. Now, back to the Inside Scoop.
So, Trinity, do you get a chance to watch a lot of Tamar's games when they're on TV?
Yeah.
Have you actually had a chance to go to a lot of them in person?
Yeah, so far I've only been about 2 or 3. I think it's maybe 2. But we watch a lot of them on TV. And seeing as though our schedule, like my schedule is really busy and really demanding, it's really hard for me to go to a lot of in-person games. But I try to watch on TV as I can.
How would you rate Tamar's play so far as a freshman? Because I know you've seen him, I mean, at his best going up through high school. You know how good he can be. How would you rate? How much have we seen from him so far as a freshman?
100. Give me the fact. Give me the
On a scale from 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Yeah, sure. Let's go on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay. All time as a freshman coming in like to the season, I personally think he's at a 9.
You think I'm at 9 right now?
Being nice.
Yeah, that's being generous.
I am. If I was being brutally honest,
That's what
I'd
you want.
say if I was being brutally honest, it'll be a 7.
God.
7.
Because I've seen so many unimaginable things at like throughout him playing basketball, him and Trey. And so the standards like it's pretty high. I said a 9 because I didn't want to like
Hurt his feelings.
not hurt his feelings.
I
just
told you,
because-
keep it 100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
he wants feedback.
I know he plays really like amazing, and it doesn't matter what number I give him. It really doesn't. But still, like I've seen how well he can play, and I just think as a freshman, if he had more opportunity to do what he can do, then he'd be able to become better over time. Like be as I see.
So what's something that we haven't seen from him yet that you think we'll see as time goes on? Something he hasn't been able to show us yet?
Well, seeing as though when he went like throughout his high school career, he's in college now. So like the demand for his playing is like way higher now. It's like bigger. And so in high school, it's like more so just a lot of that. I love the way he takes leadership, and like he's able to be a leader on the floor, and he's also able to like he's shooting threes. He's saying play, like he's telling people like what plays he wants to do, or getting other people's opinions on what plays they want to do. He's making everything happen on the court so that the game can be a success for everyone. And then of course the dunks. Those are my all-time favorites. The dunks and the threes. Dunks and threes. And when he crosses people over, that too. I like that too.
Y'all ain't seen me go top floor yet.
Y'all really
No.
haven't. It's,
We
have
ain't seen the
videos.
Pat Riley alert either.
We have videos when he went to high school, and there's these really, really amazing dunks.
Now it was a stretch my sophomore year where I dunked on somebody every game. I think it was
Oh
like
my God.
I think it was like
Yeah.
State championship year. It was going
it,
bonkers.
it might have been like 10 games in a row.
His first dunk, I remember, just came up on my Facebook feed, and it was in high school. And Trey was at the scores table checking in.
Oh yeah.
My first in-game dunk.
Tamar he caught he
threw
was
it.
leaking out, and they threw him a pass. He was for a fast break, and Tamar just went up and dunked it, and Trey was at the table jumping up and down.
Crazy.
excited,
seen on the video.
And it was on from there. I mean, everybody got dunked on after that. Every opportunity, you got something on your head if you was slipping.
Family or friends wouldn't say.
Right.
You dunked on family members too.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we have that to see here in the second half of the season tomorrow. I'm curious how you would rate your own, through the first 12 games of the season, how you would rate your play so far.
I sit myself at a 6. I mean, because it's not that going into the game, I'm giving, like, my mindset is I'm only gonna give 6 out of 10 today. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I feel like I have much more to give to the team, and I can be better. And I will be better. So I'm saying, I will rate myself at about a 6.
Okay.
This second half of the season, like, I mean, let me just, do what I know I'm capable of. So I would say I'm about a 6. Like I give 110% every time out, but like I said, I feel like I can be better.
Yeah. Tamiya, have you had a chance to get to Assembly Hall in Bloomington for a game yet?
I have.
What did you think of that whole experience and how crazy people in Bloomington take their basketball?
Well, I love watching Tamar play anyways, but what? I love watching him play anyways, but the hype that everybody had was just like crazy anyways.
I think what she's trying to say is she's never seen other people that haven't known me as long be just as excited, if not more, to watch me play in the rest of the team. Right.
Yeah.
That's what she. Which I mean, is because like at IMG, we didn't have too many fans, but even like at Piper, like in high school. So this is like the first time like we've seen people like just be like this passionate about basketball, like another fan base aside from our own family.
Yeah. And, Mrs. Bates, I'm curious from your perspective, obviously this is now Tamar's second year living away from home. He was at IMG, but it's such a big part of the decision when you're figuring out where he's going to go to college. Who are you entrusting your son to, not just from a basketball perspective, but from a discipline perspective, from an academic perspective, everything. How has the experience been so far with him at Indiana from your perspective, with all of that and with Coach Woodson's staff?
I think it's been well. They do hold them to a high standard, and hold them accountable, which is a good thing. That's what we've always done in our household. We want them to go above and beyond and push themselves as much as they, possibly can, and then to hold themselves accountable and to make corrections when needed. If they haven't given their best or haven't accomplished everything that they know and we know that they should.
Yeah.
So yeah, that part of it, is good. I think that him being around, of course, other strong men who definitely, have that college experience and that professional experience, the coaching experience. There's just so many things that each one of them can offer him and to help to continue to develop and mold him into a young man, until the young man that we want him to be, not into a young man, but into the young man that we want him to be. So
yeah. And Dr. Bates, obviously the biggest strengths for the team so far this season has been defense. They've really played. The offense has been a little up and down. The defense has been really consistent all year long. And you're a defensive guy. I'm just curious your thoughts on their defense and the kind of defense that they're playing.
I think the defense, if I had to give it a grade, I'd put it around a 6 or a 7. I think defensively, and I'm trying to play the tape in my head of the defense. I think that, on the ball defense, I think away from the ball defense, we do really well. We do off the ball D, we do really well. Being able to deny guys and trying to, disrupt plays from happening. On the ball defense, we could get better. And being able to move our feet and stop, cut a dribbler off, and wall up, not, keep momentum going with our hips once we come to a stop. Not biting on shot fakes, just staying solid. And then, when we take a charge, being able to, really be in a position, anticipating that a guy, just knowing the guy's tendencies. And that comes from studying the film. Like, I know what he's going to do. So I'm going to bait him I'm going to allow him to do what I know he's going to do. And I'm going to be ready to take a charge. I'm going to be ready to strip the ball because I know he's going to come back to his left hand. I already know that. So I'm just going to sit over here and wait for him to do it. Different things like that instead of jumping around and trying to just be everywhere. I think those are some things that we will improve on. And it's just only a matter of time because they are good. Kids are good defenders. I mean, they are good defenders. And as coaches said, the defense is way ahead of the offense, which if you want to win a championship, that you got to have that. So
100%. 100%. Trey, have you given Tamar any advice about how things change once conference play hits? I mean, obviously Tamar's played a couple of conference games against Wisconsin, against Nebraska. Have you given him any advice on how the intensity ramps up, as I think it did for you guys when you went to conference play?
Well, I haven't given him any advice necessarily because I'm in a different certain college experience than him. But from us, growing up and watching so much basketball, we kind of know, how serious conference play is in any conference really. So I think he has a good mindset and a good approach to, knowing what's about to happen and what's about to come. He can just always kind of watch, and see how things are just at a JUCO level as well, and how serious and intense it is. So, for him being at a Division I school, that's gonna, amplify it a lot more because it's a lot more at stake, and the competition level is a lot higher, and things like that. So I haven't given him, as much as advice that I probably could have, but I always know that he's watching and learning at all times. So. I feel like he'll be fine with the conference play.
What do you think is the biggest thing that we haven't seen from him yet? I know we talked about this some when you made an appearance on the show, but it's been several weeks since then. What do you think is that thing that he's still waiting to bust out? Besides the dunks on somebody, the posters, we're ready for those.
Just playing free. Kind of, in a term that my dad used for me was how I would play too much in my head and not play free how we're outside, when we'd be outside playing. They would call me Blacktop Trey because I just play free and I just play like a street ball player almost and I just make everything happen, and just will pretty much be unstoppable. And how they want, my dad wanted and my brother wanted me to play like that on the court, in real live games and stuff. So for Scoop, kind of going back to high school stuff, how he was playing free, playing how he know how to play. Just that's pretty much the only thing that I could say right now because he kind of admitted to a little bit just overthinking stuff and just being in his head a little bit. And we both have been going through that kind of with me as well, just being in our head too much and not playing the way we know how to play. So playing free for him as well as myself is just something that I feel like we could both work on and get better at.
Yeah. Well, hey, I do not want to take up too much of your time because I know that this time that you all have together is really valuable, and I appreciate you, giving us this much. A couple questions here to kind of get us out, since this is the holidays, this is Christmas, and I know there'll be music listened to, movies watched. Mrs. Bates, let's start with you. What is your favorite Christmas movie that you look forward to watching every year?
I actually like This Christmas with Chris Brown and Loretta Devine. That one's good.
All right, Trinity, what about you?
I would have to say The Grinch.
The Grinch. Now, which version of The Grinch? The original one or the newer one?
Okay. I like the one that's with the real life people. I don't know.
The original.
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's the original back from the 50s with Boris Karloff, and then there's Jim Carrey's, and then there's the more recent animated one.
Like the Jim Carrey one.
Jim Carrey one. Okay. All right, so that's your favorite. Tamiya, what about you? What's your favorite?
I love Christmas Chronicles and Christmas Chronicles 2.
Christmas Chronicles. What is that one about?
Trinity introduced me to it. It's like this family and these two kids that like their dad passed away and they're trying to like save Christmas or something. It's like both movies. Like I can't really think of it on the spot, but
Okay.
it's really good.
Where do you watch it? Is that a Netflix one?
Yeah.
On Netflix? Okay. All right. And tomorrow, last time you were on, we were talking about music. What's your favorite Christmas song?
Probably the song "Miss Christmas" from the movie.
Right.
I like that song. I mean, I was like, you got the originals, the original song that everybody sings. But
Do you like the old school versions or do you like the more modern versions of the songs?
Hold on. I mean, it really just depends on what song it is. I mean, because some songs sound better as the original, and then you got the more modern ones, and people try to do too much, and so it's like it don't even sound right no more. But I would say like the song "Miss Christmas," Chris Brown. That's probably my favorite Christmas song.
Okay, Trey, what about you?
Music or movies?
Music.
Either one. Whichever one pops up first.
I say music. That the same one, Scoop. But I go a different route, and I say "All I Want for Christmas," by Mariah Carey. That's it.
Okay.
That's the one right there.
It's a classic. That song gets a lot of hate, I feel like, but it's a great song. And she has made a ton of money on that song. I didn't realize she wrote that song herself. Wrote it, kept the rights to it. She's made a good amount of money with that song coming up every year, and it's a good one. Plus, everybody who covers it, she makes money on that too. Smart way to do it. Dr. Bates, what about you?
My favorite Christmas movie is Friday After Next, with Ice Cube and Mike Epps, and who else is in there?
Ricky Smiley.
Yeah, Ricky Smiley.
John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Mike.
No, Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
Yeah.
That is a movie that'll have me, dying laughing. I'm gonna watch that probably tonight.
Yeah.
And the composer of that song that they liked the most wasn't Chris Brown. He wasn't the original writer or composer. It was Donny Hathaway.
Yes.
Who wrote Christmas. So we always have this back and forth. We're going to do this again probably at some point when we talk about whose music, who has more artists in their in our generation. So like we would list in their generation, they would list artists. We go back and forth, and I think they beat us the last time.
We blew them out. We blew them out.
About 10 or 15.
No.
We
killed y'all. We kept coming
It wasn't a blowout. What about 10 or 15 artists that was more?
It was 30.
But what we told them this next time is that if any song they chose was by an artist who sampled one of our artists, then they don't.
Yes, we do.
Right? So like Chris Brown, that song "This Christmas" was sampled and written by Donny Hathaway, even though he sung it. It still belongs in our generation. So that's the next time we go around and do back and forth on music, like who has the best artist in their generation. We're gonna use that.
Okay. All right. We've already got it lined up for what the next episode is going to be about. That'll be good. That'll be good. Well, last question, Tamar, and then we'll get out of here. Just your thoughts on the season so far, where the team's at. I know you guys have one more non-conference game against UNC Asheville on Wednesday, and then Big Ten play starts in earnest. What's a general feeling, both just, with you and then kind of with the team internally about where things are right now?
I mean, I feel like we're in a decent spot right now. I mean, we're going to continue to get better and, get to work together, but we're going to keep our one game at a time approach. And, with that, I feel like that'll help us out. And it has, just because we put all of our focus into whatever team we have next, not, 3-4 games down the road. So, I would just say just continuing to, put the work in and, continuing to want to get better, as a team. Everybody just stays, bought into what the message is and, what's, been working, but also things that we haven't really tapped into, just figuring out other ways to dominate on the offensive end and defensive end, just continuing to learn each other as a team and as a coaching staff.
Very good. Well, we'll be watching. We wish you well. Trinity and Tamia, thank you both for coming. It was great to get a chance to meet you virtually and talk with you. You both provided great insight. Trey, good luck the rest of your season. Good to see you again. We'll be following along. And Mrs. Bates, Dr. Bates, congratulations again on 21 years. Here's to 21 more. Great to see y'all.
You as well. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And that will do it for this edition of the Inside Scoop with Tamar Bates. My thanks to Tamar and his entire family for carving out some time during their Christmas break to join us and give us so much insight. Really, really appreciate them taking the time. And of course, I appreciate you being here to listen. And we appreciate the support of our sponsor, Speakeasy Sales Copy. Make sure you go to speakeasysalescopy.com, learn how to save time, make money, and grow your business with world-class copy that is crafted for you. And of course, our good friends at Home Field Apparel, the presenting sponsor of the Back Home Network. Go to homefieldapparel.com, use that promo code HOME, HOME, to get 15% off your first order. If you're enjoying these episodes, please share them with another Indiana fan who you think might enjoy them as well. And then catch us after every IU game for the Assembly Call IU postgame show. Learn more at our website, assemblycall.com. Talk to y'all soon.